All right, so you know how sometimes you just feel like you need that cheat sheet to really get what makes someone totally dominant in their field?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to deep dive into today.
Yeah.
It's the question of, can one player really carry a whole team?
Oh, interesting.
We're going to focus on Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen
Yeah.
and an article by Bucky Brooks,
I know.
NFL analyst for Fox Sports.
Yep.
He actually makes a pretty bold claim,
Really?
and it sparked a lot of debate.
Oh, I bet.
So what is Brooks arguing?
Well, his argument is that while there are other players, who could be in the running for MVP,
Right.
Josh Allen is the NFL's most irreplaceable player.
Wow. Okay.
That's a strong statement.
Especially in a sport like football,
Yeah.
where teamwork is everything.
It really makes you think,
Yeah, it does.
is it even possible for one person to make that much of a difference
Right.
in a team sport like this?
And Brooks doesn't just, throw opinions out there.
Yeah.
He gives us the proof. So tell me what's he got?
Right away, he hits us with some impressive stats.
Lay it on me.
Allen is the first NFL player to hit 40-plus touchdowns,
Okay.
5 seasons in a row.
Oh, wow.
And to really put that into perspective, he's only the third quarterback in history
Okay.
to get 40-plus touchdowns, 500-plus rushing yards,
Wow.
and keep interceptions under 7.
All right, so who are those other two quarterbacks?
Okay, so you have Lamar Jackson,
Okay.
and we'll talk about the other one a little bit.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part.
Right.
He achieved all these insane numbers without his star receivers.
No Stephon Diggs.
Right.
No Gabe Davis.
And while they did bring in Amari Cooper,
Right.
it was basically like a playmaker committee.
Yeah, I think that phrase playmaker committee is really interesting.
Why is that?
Well, because it means they were relying on this group of, good players, but not really superstar level receivers
Right.
to really step up.
And this is where Brooks's whole point about Allen being irreplaceable starts to make more sense,
Yeah,
right?
because it's one thing to get those big numbers when you have all these stars around you,
Uh-huh.
but when you're actually elevating the play of everyone around you,
Right.
even when they're not super famous names.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's turning role players into the stars of the show.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's not just the numbers themselves, it's
No.
the whole context.
Mm-hmm.
So where do other quarterbacks stack up in all of this?
Okay.
You mentioned Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
And I know Patrick Mahomes comes to mind.
Right off the bat.
Both insanely talented.
They are. But they also have amazing supporting casts.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. Look at the running back situation, for example.
Right?
Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry.
Right.
Like a one-man wrecking crew.
You sure?
Who just demands all the defense's attention on every single play.
Right.
And then you compare that to James Cook.
On the Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good player.
He is.
But he doesn't command that same level of respect.
Yeah, like fear.
Yeah, from the other team's defenses.
So that puts more pressure on Allen.
Right.
Because the defense can just focus more on him.
They know James Cook isn't just going to
Take off.
Right, run 70 yards for a touchdown.
So he's constantly facing a tougher situation.
Yeah.
And still delivering.
Exactly.
Wow.
And now think about Sean McDermott.
The Bills coach.
Yep, he was with the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
During Cam Newton's crazy Super Bowl run, where Newton pretty much single-handedly carried the team.
Right.
So it's very possible that experience might have influenced McDermott's belief in Allen's ability to lead.
Yeah.
Even without that, superstar team around him.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the context of the team. Let's go back to Allen's stats for a sec.
Right.
You said he's the only player to hit 40-plus touchdowns for 5 straight seasons.
I did.
Which is already wild.
It is.
But then there's another stat Brooks points out.
Yeah.
That honestly blew my mind.
I think you're talking about Allen being the first player ever.
Yeah.
To have multiple seasons with 25 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
And 10 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. So it's not just that he can throw the ball.
Can run through.
Like a serious running threat.
Makes him so hard to defend against.
Right.
You have to account for both.
It's like a defense having to choose.
Yeah.
Between getting tackled by a linebacker or a running back.
Either way, you're going down.
Right. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, this dual threat ability is scary for defenses.
Because they can't just focus on stopping his passes.
Yep.
They also got to worry about him just taking off
Right.
and running.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really fascinating.
Oh, why is that?
Because it seems like the Bills' whole defensive strategy is made to help Allen's strengths.
Oh, interesting.
Wait, are you saying their defense is built to give the ball back to Josh Allen?
Well, it's not quite that simple. But they definitely aren't relying on those big-name defensive stars or like flashy individual plays on defense.
Interesting.
Instead, their entire defense is focused on one thing.
What's that?
Forcing turnovers. And remember, turnovers mean more chances for Allen in the offense.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. The Bills' defense is basically a machine designed to give more opportunities to a quarterback who's already putting up insane numbers, even without his best receivers.
Pretty much.
That's incredible.
They led the league in turnover margin.
Wow.
That's not just a coincidence.
Yeah.
No way.
I'm starting to see how all this connects to Brooks's argument about Allen being irreplaceable.
Yeah.
It's not just about talent.
No.
It's about how he makes the whole team better.
It's like they built an entire system around his unique abilities.
That's brilliant.
It is.
Wow. Okay. So we're seeing this amazing synergy, right? Between Allen's skills on offense and how the Bills' defense plays.
It's a great example of how you can take individual brilliance and then like amplify it by having a system that's designed to just capitalize on those strengths.
Right. It's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Where every part is working together to achieve this one goal, which is to give Josh Allen as many chances as possible to do what he does best, make those game-changing plays.
Make it happen.
But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
This whole idea of one player being irreplaceable, it almost feels weird in a team sport.
I know it's like a paradox.
Right, because we usually think of football as the ultimate team sport.
Right, the collective effort is what matters. More than any one person.
But then you have someone like Allen who just completely challenges that.
It's like he's rewriting the rules. Forcing us to rethink what it even means to be a leader.
To be a quarterback.
To be that driving force.
For team success.
And that's what makes this so interesting. It goes way beyond stats or rankings or whatever.
It's about those qualities.
You can't
really measure
those things that make a player truly valuable.
Okay, so we've established that Allen is incredibly talented. And the Bills have this system to help him. But let's play devil's advocate here.
Okay, I like it.
What about someone like Aaron Rodgers?
Okay.
He's consistently taken teams with less talent and made them great.
He's one of the most gifted quarterbacks of all time.
So how does his impact compare to Allen's?
That's a great point. And, you know, Aaron Rodgers is amazing. And he's shown time and time again that he can make those around him better. But I think the difference is in the specific challenges.
Okay, so you're saying it's not just raw talent.
No, it's the context. Like the setting that talent is in. Exactly.
Okay.
Think about the offensive schemes they use. The defenses they go up against. The overall roster.
That all matters.
All these things play a huge role.
So for Allen, he's dealing with receivers who aren't as proven, tougher defenses to beat, and a system that relies on him a lot.
It all goes through him.
And in that situation, his performance is even more impressive.
He's not just putting up numbers. He's doing it under pressure. Lifting up his teammates.
And leading the team to win.
In a way that's really hard to copy. Almost impossible.
It's like we're talking about two different kinds of irreplaceable. Two categories.
You have guys like Rodgers who elevate their teams because they're so talented.
Pure talent.
And they just know the game so well.
And
then you have players like Allen who are like carrying the whole team.
Like on their shoulders.
Almost willing them to victory.
It's a really good point.
And it shows just how complicated this all is. There's no one way to measure a player's impact.
It's more about understanding their specific situation.
The challenges they face.
And the special ways they help their team succeed.
And that brings us back to Brooks's argument.
Is Josh Allen the most irreplaceable player in the NFL?
It's a question that people will debate forever.
It's a good question.
And there might not even be a real answer.
But what's clear is that Allen has made us rethink what it means for one player to carry a team.
He's changed how we think about leadership, about quarterbacking.
And how teams can be successful.
And I think that's the most important thing we can learn from this.
It's not about picking one most irreplaceable player.
It's about understanding how each person contributes in the context of their team.
It's about recognizing that impact can look different.
Yeah, there are lots of ways to be valuable.
And sometimes the most important players
are the ones you'd miss the most if they were gone.
Yeah, and for the Bills, they would definitely miss Josh Allen.
For sure.
Imagine them without his plays, his leadership, his ability to make everyone around him better.
It would be a totally different team.
All right, so we've looked at the stats.
Yeah.
Explored the Bills' system. And compared Allen to other top quarterbacks.
You've even debated this whole idea of irreplaceability.
So where does all this leave us?
Yeah, like we've dug into Josh Allen's stats. We've looked at how the Bills system works.
Yeah.
And we even compared him to some other great quarterbacks.
We've really wrestled with this idea of a player being irreplaceable.
And what that even means in a team sport.
Honestly, I'm walking away with more questions than answers.
Well, that's the best part of a deep dive, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, it's been a really interesting journey.
It's about sparking that curiosity, challenging those assumptions.
And just like making us think differently about something.
Exactly.
So back to Brooks's claim. Is Josh Allen really the most irreplaceable player in the NFL?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
This deep dive has shown us that one player can really change things for a team.
It's like a reminder that impact isn't always about winning awards.
Yeah, or getting crazy stats.
It's about how a player's presence makes the whole team better.
It's about that ripple effect.
Makes you think, who else is out there?
Oh, yeah.
Flying under the radar.
Quietly making everyone around them better.
Like those hidden gems.
Yeah.
The players who aren't always in the headlines.
Right, but they're the ones making things happen.
I'm thinking of guys like TJ Watt on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Or Travis Kelce on the Chiefs.
They may not be the flashiest players.
But they're so important to their teams.
Absolutely. And this whole deep dive has made me realize just how important coaching is. The schemes, the strategy.
Building a system that plays to a team's strengths.
It's like we've been looking at the soloist. But the whole orchestra matters. Yeah. The conductor, the instruments, how it's all arranged.
It all comes together to make the music.
And that's true for anything, not just football.
It's rarely just one person doing it all.
You need the right mix of talent, strategy, and execution.
So much to think about.
Definitely eye-opening.
All right, as we wrap this up,
yeah,
what's the one thing you want listeners to take away?
Don't just focus on the stars.
Okay.
Look deeper. Really understand the details.
Yeah.
And then you'll start to see what really drives success.
In anything.
Not just football.
That's a great point.
It is.
Question your assumptions.
Keep exploring.
Never stop learning.
And hey, maybe you'll find the next Josh Allen.
Before everyone else.
That's the dream.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been fun.